Hey guys, D Smooth here, back at it with another Gojo hating video. I've officially become a Gojo hater, especially when I capitalize this because Gojo is kinda returned in the manga right now. But I want to go into why there's so many problems with Gojo's character, and I hate Gojo fans. And the thing about all Gojo fans that every single one of them is entitled. Every single one of them is entitled. And it's based around Gojo's lazy power set. Gojo's lazy power set. Let's start off again. Gojo, the whole point of his character is supposed to be the strongest. He's held up as the pinnacle of this world, the strongest sorcerer. But his powers don't really reflect that. His whole thing is that he can warp space to create an infinite wall between him and his opponent that nobody can cross. And all of his other abilities are just variants of that infinity thing. That's not a powerhouse. That's a hacker cheater. That's a hacker cheater, Doctor Strange type cheating character. That's not a powerhouse. Now, it could work if we lived in an entire world, if this was a whole world full of hacker cheaters, but no. So it really doesn't feel that powerful. He doesn't come across as powerful. He just comes across as a hacker cheater. And the show doesn't call out the hacker cheater as a hacker cheater. It's like, here's an example. When we see Sukuna fight Jogo and fight Magaraga, we see them leveling cities. They're destroying buildings, smashing each other through buildings, the whole place going up in flames. Those are powerhouses. That's actual power. That's destruction. We saw Magaraga pick up a whole building and chuck it at Sukuna. Gojo can't do that. Gojo can't pick up buildings and chuck at each other. Gojo's just stuck with his space-time hacks ability. That is not a powerhouse. That is a hacker cheat. Those are not the same thing. It seems like I don't think Gege knows the difference between a hacker cheater and a powerhouse. When I saw Gojo reveal his powers in the anime, reveal his eyes, he can fight Jogo, do his infinity and stuff, domain expansion, I didn't really see that as powerful. I saw that as broken hacks. That's cheating, bro. That's cheating, bro. You're just cheating. You're not fighting fair, bro. It's like pulling up to a gun. It's like pulling up to a fist fight, and the other guy just pulls a gun and shoots you. It's like, bro, it's not fair. It's like pulling up to a martial arts tournament and just shooting everybody. It's not really fair. It's a hacker cheater type thing. And this is not how you write a powerhouse. He just comes across as a lazy hacker cheater. And here's the funny thing: the whole thing about being a hacker cheater, it could have worked if you changed up his character to be a lazy bum. Like if I was Gege Akutami, I would have written Gojo as this fat slob who doesn't even bother looking at his opponents. I would just like, let's rewrite that scene where Gojo fights Jogo. And let's just have Gojo as this fat slob just eating a donut, eating something, and the dude just can't even touch him. Like Jogo can't even touch him because of his infinity. And then when he does that stuff, it just comes across as him being a lazy ass nigga. Gojo just being a lazy ass nigga. That's what his power is. His power set just screams lazy ass nigga. Now, here's the funny thing about it. That would have made sense for a character with this type of power set. Here's the thing. Even though his abilities doesn't really reflect being a powerhouse as much as a hacker cheater, they go on to show that he's a highly skilled fighter, which wouldn't make sense if your whole thing is you can't be touched. Why do you even need to know how to fight at that point? Like, if your infinity isn't working, like if you grew up, like put yourself in Gojo's shoes. If you grew up with Gojo's ability in this realm of sorcerers, and if your infinity fails, you're probably not gonna be a skilled hand-to-hand fighter. You're probably just gonna say screw it and pull out the Glock and start shooting me. because Gojo should have been written as this lazy ass nigga. That's how this character should have been. This is not a powerhouse. This is a hacker chief who never fights fair, always cheats, because that's what his ability is, to hack cheat. This isn't a powerhouse. You look at, because like this is like, people love characters like Goku. Goku is a powerhouse that's written like a powerhouse. His ability is energy manipulation, and he can destroy plant stuff. That is power. Gojo can't really destroy as much as Sukuna can. I think Sukuna, in terms of overall destructive ability and lifting and all of that, Sukuna outweighs Gojo. Gojo's only thing is the infinity and the little variants like red and blue and stuff. But even then, it's really not that. That's just being a hacker cheater. But Gojo should have been written as a lazy bum, and his character, I think, would have worked better. When you look at Gojo fans, they all have this entitlement factor to it. They don't want to really earn anything. They're very shallow people because that's what the character is. Gojo is someone blessed with a power that he doesn't really have to work for. He earned it. In fact, let me go into this. Why his power set is lazy. Due to the nature of his ability, he doesn't really have to go in close to fight you. He could just stand from a distance, just start throwing red and blue or purple at you, and just never interact with you. He really doesn't, unless you catch him off guard. He really doesn't have to. Let's write characters like in the universe, Sukuna. Sukuna, in many situations, has to get close to you because although he does have ranged attacks, there's plenty of people who can get around that, so he has to get in close with hand-to-hand. Gojo should not have been a skilled hand-to-hand fighter. He should have just been a lazy-ass bum, and his character would have worked better for it. If you're going to give him a lazy power set, have the character be a lazy bum. Gojo just comes across as a very unrealistic portrayal of what this power would have actually been. Someone with this power set, someone with it lives in this world, he wouldn't act like that. Him being arrogant, sure. Him being a skilled hand-to-hand fighter, him being all this other stuff, him being good with the girls, that wouldn't have been. Gojo should have just been a lazy-ass bum because that's what his powers are. It's a lazy-ass power. I think his character would have worked much better for this. It's like, okay, I lost my train of thought for a second. What makes a power set work is how the character is. Think of characters like Choso. Choso, this whole thing is like he can manipulate his blood and use it as projectiles and stuff. Him being a martial artist makes sense because he can also do stuff with his blood, like create armor with it. Like when in his fight with Yuta, he made this little blood armor around his abs. It's not him. Choso being a skilled hand-to-hand fighter makes sense with that power set, especially when you consider how they grew up and stuff. Gojo, and yes, I know he comes from a rich family, but honestly, that just gives him more excuse to be a lazy bum. His character would have worked better with that. And like, what makes a power set work is how you use it. I'm gonna go outside of anime for a second. Characters like Wolverine. People make fun of Wolverine, he just has claws or regeneration. Well, due to the nature of his powers, he has to get in close. So it makes sense for Wolverine to be a skilled fighter. He has to get close to you to cut you up. He has to get close to you, so it makes sense he's going to learn a bunch of martial arts. It makes sense he's going to have all this knowledge. It makes sense that he's going to be good at stealth. It makes sense for him to have all these other skills given the nature of his powers. Gojo's power is to literally see everything everywhere, be untouchable, so it makes sense him to just be a distance type fighter and never get in close. Or it makes sense for him just like, no, Homelander just walks up and just lasers everybody. That just Doesn't even try to fight, just lasers people. That's what Gojo should have been. Just walking, Gojo walking with a beer gut, scratching his belly, not even ignoring everybody, like just not even bother looking at your attacks and shooting. That would have made sense for his power set. Him start using martial arts, it doesn't make sense for that power set. The idea of him being a martial artist could have worked as a okay backup plan. My affinity ain't working for whatever reason. Time to pull up the block. Oh, the block ain't working. Now I gotta pull out the hands, and the hands are just somewhat okay. It's not the best hands you ever seen. Like his skill set, a power set, and a skill set have to match. His skill set does not match his power set. Okay, a lot of people don't understand that. Skill set and power set must match. Let's go outside of. Actually, no. Let's stay in Jujutsu, guys. Shoso, I already mentioned. Shoso can manipulate his blood, but can also use it in martial arts ways. He can form things out of the blood and use it in martial arts. He can form armor from it. So it makes sense for him to also have some pretty good hands, given the nature of his power set. Skill set and power set have to match. Gojo's skill set doesn't match his power set. It would have made more sense if. Yeah, this whole thing. Y'all made me sick. You Gojo fans, you're making me sick having to talk about him all the time. It would have made more sense for Gojo to just be a lazy bum who shows up scratching his belly, not even paying attention because he knows he's untouchable, and just lays there. But that would have made sense given his power set, especially when you consider the fact that he's rich. He has more reason to be a bum. He has more reason to be a bum. That's what Gojo should have been. And the show, he's a fake powerhouse. I've said this example before in other videos, but I'm going to say it again. Imagine if Doctor Strange dressed up like the Hulk and pretended to be the Hulk. That's Gojo. He's a fake powerhouse. The whole show keeps hailing him up as this ultra powerful. He's not. He's a hacker cheater pretending to be powerful. He's a hacker cheater who somehow has convinced everyone that he's strong. He's not. That stopped the cap. Again, go back to the Sukuna versus Magaraga fight when they were leveling whole cities and destroying everything. That's power. Gojo thinks that's hacker cheater stuff. Teleporting around and creating an invisible force field, that's hacker cheater stuff. That's not powerhouse, that's hacker cheater. Let's call out for what it is. Gojo, if he wanted to make him a more interesting character, it would have made more sense if he was a lazy bum. And the arrogance just came from the fact that he's untouchable. And there's other stuff you could have written about you could have dived more into his family lineage, but the show really doesn't do much to say. Gojo, I'm just so sick of Gojo. I'm sick of Gojo fans. Like, subscribe. See you guys later. Tell me what you think below. See you later.